A while ago.
You mean to say that for the longest time, there have been scoundrels who would use the Charmony Festival that I have bequeathed to the masses as a tool to realize their ambition?
Oh, yeah, this is who I thought, I think. Or wait, was he labeled as the Dream Master before? Yeah, the Pepesh. Well, it wasn't just the bird, it was the Pepesh. It was, a whole bunch of people were the quote-unquote Dream Master. But yes, there are a lot of scoundrels who would use it as a tool to realize their ambition.
Indeed, Dream Master. Once the Charmony Festival begins, the Stellaron's powers, along with the song, will be broadcast across the entire planet of Penacony. And then everyone in their dreams will be unable to awaken.
Oh god. Yeah, that's bad.
This is indeed surprising to me. The dreamscape is maintained by the collective effort of the 5 families.
Yeah.
If someone were to use the Charmony Festival to recklessly disseminate the power of the Stellaron, this individual must hold a position of great authority.
Such as yourself?
Do you have any suspects?
It wouldn't surprise me if you would want to keep people here permanently.
I'd like to ask, did you really not know of the Stellaron's existence?
Yeah, I don't know if I can believe that.
I would have never thought that this nameless would point the spear at me. Quite astonishing indeed.
You didn't answer the question.
If I have offended, the Astral Express extends its sincere apologies. But the current circumstances are dire and leave no room for meticulous inquiry. We're doing this out of concern for the dreamscape's safety.
Yeah.
So, if you could, please alleviate our concerns.
Yeah, that element of choice is about to be removed. That is a problem.
Dream Master, it's just to prove that the Charmony Festival has nothing to do with the Stellaron. If we're being overly cautious, I will return to the stage to offer tribute in song, just per the arrangement.
Yeah, they need Robin to sing for, the effect to take hold, I imagine, from what we've heard.
Sunday, Robin. I've watched you two grow up, and know your dispositions like the back of my hand. Both of you, right now, can surely be lauded as their most devout advocates.
Yeah.
I already know your resolve.
Though they interpret the harmony in 2 very different ways.
The magnitude of this matter is enormous, and cannot be taken lightly. Since Mr. Yang has asked with such earnestness, I will personally respond in kind. If there is a need, the entire Oak family will be mobilized to heed your call.
Oh. But we know that's not happening.
Sunday, might I ask you to beseech them to cast their light unto me, and question me in their stead,
Oh.
so that no lies may be concealed?
Really?
I will do as you command.
Damn. Well, the Dream Master is being quite honest.
Robin, could I entrust you to be present as a witness, to document the truth, and to proclaim my innocence, so that all slander may be utterly dispelled?
Yeah.
I will do as you command.
May thy will be carried out on earth, just as it is in the heavens.
Oh, triple-faced soul, please sear his tongue and palms with a hot iron, so that he will not be able to fabricate lies and make false vows.
That is a terrifying ability.
Let us begin. There is nothing else to prepare.
Understood. question. Have you devoted your life to your god, never worshipping other gods?
The Harmony being the god you're talking about?
Naturally.
Do you love your god as you do yourself, always heeding their admonishments?
Naturally.
Have you strayed from the path expected by your god, betraying their name?
Well, I don't believe they perceive it that way, at least.
Never.
Have you ever been inordinate with your asks of your god, coveting more than the foundation of the creation itself?
Never.
Then, a final question.
Ask about the plan with the Stellaron.
Do you swear to fulfill all vows, past, present, and future?
With the Eon as my witness, if I do not deliver on my words, or if I renege on my vows, may I be cursed in accordance with divine law.
You're not asking the questions we want, Mr. Sunday.
They have seen your faith, and have endorsed your faith. With this, it can be evidenced.
No,
Just a moment.
you didn't ask the important questions, Sunday.
What is it, Mr. Yang?
I have another question I hope to have answered.
Ask directly. Are you the traitor?
To my understanding, the family's harmony and prosperity have never relied on so-called divine laws. The god you both mentioned, are they truly Shipe?
Ooh, a very good question.
Mr. Yang should know that those belonging to the family toil together as if they were kin,
Yeah.
embracing solidarity and unity under their light. All duplicity is laid bare before the harmony.
Yeah.
Such a delicate and complex symphony. Which other god could perfectly harmonize this, if not for the great one? Shipe.
Answer that, well, it's, Mr. Yang's not the one who needs to answer truthfully.
Perfectly harmonized. Therein lies the problem. It isn't an outsider lurking in the shadows who changed the harmony, but a dissonance that has surreptitiously emerged from within this very symphony itself. In the distant past, there existed an Eon. With one flick of the wrist, they crafted the laws of the cosmos. Their followers formed the Beyond the Sky Choir, spreading solemn and reverent hymns throughout the universe. Later, they fell. The route traversed by this Eon clashed with the harmony, ultimately being absorbed and fused into it.
Interesting.
The chorus that once reverberated across worlds fell silent, and when it echoed anew, it was transformed into the hymn of harmony.
Huh. Fascinating. The harmony absorbed another route, another Eon's path. Very interesting. Also, kind of seems fitting for the harmony, actually.
Though an Eon may perish, paths with no masters still linger.
Just like
In
us.
the all-forgiving harmony, echoes of bygone dissonance may subtly arise.
So you think absorbing this other path has actually poisoned the harmony, so to speak, caused a dissonance within.
Mr. Yang, being overly astute can be a detriment. Especially when you find yourself alone and without allies.
Uh-oh. We have Robin.
So this is how it is.
Yeah, I think just hit the nail on the head.
For the sake of our grand cause someday, please afford these two an opportunity to rest.
So Mr. Sunday is in on it too.
What?
Oh, I'm sorry, Robin. brother isn't who he was.
Sorry, Robin. It's just you. I did not wish for you to know this.
Oh,
It's a pity that things have turned out this way.
you would betray your own sister. You really have changed.
So, this is the true reason I can't sing? The shadow that envelops Penacony is actually...
We were never children of the harmony. Our ideal paradise could not have been crafted by Shipe. True bliss can only be guaranteed by the one who transcends the many.
You were never a child of the harmony, maybe. Robin, though, I think she is.
Within the foundation of law, humanity establishes civilization, and through harmony, we obtain order.
Ooh, my.
Unbelievable. To think that there would be remnants of the Order on Penacony.
The Order. Which is, I guess, a, you know, sort of a mirror of the harmony from a certain point of view.
What have you done with Mr. Yang and Miss Robin?
Let them rest, I guess.
Don't worry. I just gave them some time alone to ponder their fates.
Mr. Sunday, I have a baseball bat with your face on it.
You should know that these actions make you an enemy of the Astral Express.
Ooh. I like how threatening that was, Himeko.
Should we need to stand against the Nameless, it would only be myself and the Oak family involved. But we haven't reached that point yet, have we?
You are the leader of the Oak family, right? Not the Iris. Though the Dream Master, which family was the Dream Master the leader of? Actually, no. The Dream Master might not actually lead a family, just stand above the others.
Your efforts for the justice of Penacony are evident to everyone, and have been widely observed.
You want to talk terms with us? Get Mr. Yang back to us now. Stop beating around the bush. You want to talk terms with us?
Smart kid. You're just as sharp as the other one.
Mr. Yang?
If it is the Order that drove you to imprison Welt and Robin, and you're using them to coerce our compliance, then there'll be no point in entertaining any type of discussion.
Well, careful, Himeko. If they hold the lives of Welt and Robin in their hands, we have to be very careful.
You're mistaken, Miss Himiko. They are in very safe hands, and just as the family has always proclaimed, no one can be harmed in the dreamscape.
Right.
Least of all in the beautiful new world belonging to the Order. Penacony and the entire universe have witnessed far too much innocent bloodshed. The strong wield their blades against the weak, and the victors push the vanquished to the brink of life.
Yeah, see, this actually... The Order makes a lot more sense than the harmony for them. I mean, it's the... You could consider it the dark side of harmony, I guess. Which is fitting.
Natural selection. The world abides by this principle, establishing the well-being of humanity atop the corpses of the downtrodden. Only we, or rather, I, possess the power to put an end to this farce.
Oh, it's Order taken to the extreme, I should say.
So you've decided to resurrect
dark
a
side of
dead
harmony.
Eon? No one's ever done such a thing.
Is it even possible? To resurrect a dead Eon?
If Miss Himiko is interested, let's draw back the veil and speak candidly.
We revive Akavili?
I've always firmly believed that people can understand one another through peaceful means. I'm willing to divulge the unembellished truth as to the intentions of the Order's Pathstriders, so that you will make better judgment for the Astral Express, for Penacony, and for this stretch of the universe. Words can hardly do justice to the beauty of that ideal.
That's not a bad idea. It'd be best if we could come to to understand you and your goals, so we can better choose our own actions. I'm sorry, it was Sunday. You were unaware that Robin's death was not real, right? That was all actual care you had for her. I'm disappointed in you.
So, come with me, everyone. Let us retrace our steps and see once again where this road leads.
Yeah.
Huh? Where'd he go?
I think we're supposed to follow, but I don't know.
Welcome. This isn't any location in Penacony's dreamscape. It's my inner world.
Oh?
The reason the scenery before you remains unchanged is because your consciousness has drawn on similar concepts to fill in the gaps.
Oh no. You've imprisoned us. Who in their right mind would expose their inner self like this? No, you've imprisoned us.
Did you do the same to Welt?
It's a tuning process. Stronger in effect and more draining on the mind. The gray-haired guest has experienced it before, so she should understand what it entails.
Have I? When?
Tuning allows you to intuitively grasp my feelings, which also means that I cannot hide anything from you.
Who did I do that with? I don't remember.
Now, everyone, please look at the huge screen.
Maybe did I do it with
The road we
Firefly?
once took begins here.
When I found out she was alive again.
From this point on, you will witness the numerous decisions I've faced. I've selected a portion of these to share with you. I believe after going through similar predicaments, you'll be able to better understand my thoughts. Let's begin. The first decision. A story about a baby bird.
Yeah, we've been building that up.
This story happened when Robin and I were very young. We were victims of the Stellaron disaster,
Oh.
and the family's Mr. Gopher Wood, who would later become the Dream Master of Penacony,
Oh, it is Mr.
saw that
Gopherwood.
we siblings had no one to turn to and took us in.
Thought so.
Later on, Robin and I lived a time with nary a care in the world. One day, after dinner, while my younger sister and I were lounging about in Mr. Gopher Wood's yard, we spotted a fledgling Charmony dove all on its own. That baby bird was tiny. It didn't even have all of its feathers,
Yeah.
and it couldn't sing. When we found it, it was already on its last breath, having fallen into a shrub, probably abandoned by its parents. We decided to build a nest for it right there and then. However, thinking back, that winter was unusually cold,
Yeah.
with fierce winds at night in the yard, not to mention the many poisonous bugs and wild beasts in the vicinity. It was clear that if we left the fledgling in the yard, it stood no chance of surviving until spring.
Right.
So, I suggested we take it inside, place it on the shelf by the window, and asked the adults to fashion a cage for it. We decided that when it regained its strength enough to spread its wings, we would release it back into the wild. The tragic part, something that we'd never considered, was that this bird's fate had already been determined long before this moment.
What? That it would never regain its strength.
Its destiny was determined by our momentary whim.
Oh?
Now, I pass the power of choice to you all. Faced with this situation, what choice would you make? Stick to the original plan, and build a nest with soft net where the Charmony dove fell. Or build a cage for it and feed it, giving it the utmost care from within the warmth of a home.
Ooh. I mean,
I eagerly await your answer.
honestly, probably would have gone with what you guys had planned, but to take care of it for until it regained its strength before releasing it back. But I don't know. Choice to be made. Oh, hey guys, you're all here. We're able to leave. Yes, actually. Yeah, what do you guys think?
It looks like he really has no intention of imprisoning us. If it's just a quiz, I suppose it's fine to humor him.
Right.
Back to the question. I would personally choose to build the little Charmony dove a cage.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
No special reason. I do think that a fledgling should have the right to fly into the sky. But if it can't even live to that point, then there's nothing to talk about to begin with.
Yeah. I agree with you on that. March?
That guy just casually throws this kind of question at us? What exactly is his deal? But fine, I'll answer, I guess.
Excellent. What do you think, March?
If it were me, I guess I'd choose to build a cage for the little Charmony dove.
Yeah.
After all, leaving it there, it's bound to get hurt by wild animals or something. And that'd just be too sad.
Yeah, it would. What about you, Firefly? You, think differently?
I can't decipher his intentions right now, but based solely on that question, I would probably choose to build that dove a cage.
Yeah, it sounds like we're all in agreement. It seems very pointless to, build the injured bird a nest if it's just gonna starve.
Even if I was gonna release it back into the sky, it'd have to be strong enough to fly first.
Yeah, right.
If I left it where I found it, I fear it'd never get the chance to fly ever again.
Yeah, I agree. So we're all in agreement then, huh? Very well. Yeah, so I think our answer's gotta be build a cage for the little Charmony dove. It's the answer we'd go with, and all of our party members, all of our companions agree as well. I haven't heard an argument to the alternative, so choose nurture with care in a cage. But with the understanding, Mr. Sunday, that we would let it choose for itself whether to be free of its cage. Not really a cage, in actuality. Or build a cage for it and feed it, giving it the utmost care from within the warmth of a home. Yeah, make the decision.
I'm happy to see that you made a choice similar to ours. If your mind is made up, let me reveal the outcome of this choice.
Of course.
We passionately nursed it back to health, preparing only the best food for it every day. We even preened its feathers. Later, on the day that Robin left Penacony, we opened the cage door and let it fly back into the sky.
Okay.
I watched it for a long while by the window, probably about 3 or so days.
Oh, so it stuck around.
In those 3 long days, the little Charmony dove tried again and again to spread its wings to fly into the sky, but fell to the ground, only to keep trying.
Oh, I wonder what was wrong with it. A birth defect, perhaps? Its wings weren't fully developed? Or something about the way you took care of it prevented it from, developing as it was supposed to. Kind of like how if you try to help a butterfly hatch from its chrysalis, you'll actually, effectively prevent its wings from, I don't know how to describe it other than not becoming what they're supposed to be. Make it incapable of flying, I think.
Finally, on the 137th attempt, it succeeded. But its attempt did not go perfectly. After flying unsteadily for a while, it fell to the ground, unable to grasp the direction of the air currents.
Oh, that's sad.
The fall shattered its wings. It writhed helplessly in my embrace. But it was all for naught, finally succumbing to a painful demise. And in that instant, our tender care, our given love and hopes, they all became the inevitable push that sent it to its death.
I think you're being far too hard on yourself there, Mr. Sunday. No, you did not push it to its death. That's... no, absolutely not. You helped it live for a time, and then you let it choose when it wanted to do. At that point, you had no further responsibility.
I deeply regret the choices we made. Next, let us head to the second decision. This time, it's the story of a dream chaser.
Okay.
This story happened when I was appointed as Bronze Melodia, a position exclusive to the Oak family, charged with listening to the problems and vexations of Dreamscape residents, and providing them with the relevant guidance.
Yeah, you had a few of them that were kind of, not taking it very seriously. And a few that really were.
It was during that period that I had the opportunity to hear voices from all corners of the dreamscape. Joy, sorrow, arrogance, regret. The complex tapestry of human nature that formed the world. And I was fortunate to catch a glimpse of it.
Right. What conclusion did you come to in that time?
He was a dream chaser and an illegal stowaway. Just like the rest of them, he came to Penacony in search of a better life. Except that, to most people, the price he paid, I suppose you could say it was everything.
Right. I think we heard his story a little bit earlier, though it might be a different one.
He told me, I sold everything I could at home.
Yeah.
The house, the land, even his 2 children. He said he could not afford to raise them, and that at least they could eat if they lived as slaves.
Could you not give them up for adoption instead of selling them into slavery?
He had a plan in place. He would buy back his children once he had made his fortune, and enjoy Penacony's beautiful dream with them. Alas, his plan to smuggle himself was somewhat clumsy, and he was sniffed out by those pig-headed hounds.
Not a fan of the hounds.
After hearing the Dream Chaser's story, I immediately appealed to the Bloodhound family to cease their pursuit. That way, at least he could live peacefully. But I was still too naive to the ways of the world. I did not anticipate that what I thought was a kind gesture would later lead to dire consequences.
You basically ratted him out and basically led to his expulsion, I'm guessing.
I'll tell you the outcome soon. For now, I'd like you all to make a choice.
Okay.
Will you do as I did and try to convince the Bloodhound family to stop their pursuit so that the Dream Chaser may live peacefully and realize his wishes? Or will you remain silent, leaving him to languish while the hounds are hot on his heels until his inevitable judgment arrives?
I mean, I don't know, with this one, it's hard to have any sympathy for someone who sells their children into slavery. I mean, even if I believed he planned on getting them back, that's a pretty terrible thing to do.
I look forward to everyone's decisions. Who knows? Perhaps they might even alter the outcome of this tragedy.
I don't know. I mean, the only tragedy here for me is the children. I mean, like I said, I can't bring myself to feel sympathy for the guy. Well, what do you all think? March?
It seems illegal stowaways are really quite common on Penacony.
Sure.
But that guy in the story, I don't think he deserves any sympathy at all.
We're of the same mind, March.
He sold his kids to chase a dream.
Yeah.
Even if he intended to go back for them, it's still insanely irresponsible.
Yeah. He very well could have been sentencing his children to a worse fate than they already had.
With that thought, there's only one choice. Let the Bloodhound send him back home. This person deserves to be punished.
I'm leaning towards that route. We'll see if the others can convince me otherwise. Himiko? Are you a little more empathetic to him?
A dream chaser story. If I acted out of kindness, I would probably ask the Bloodhounds to stop their pursuit and lend him a hand.
Sure. That'd be extreme kindness to the man.
But what cruel repercussion would this choice result in? I think Sunday must have been deeply impressed by the limitations of the strong defending the weak through this incident.
Maybe. Firefly? I mean, that didn't convince me to support the man. But, because I can't find kindness in my heart for a man who'd sell his children.
This question... Surely it has some connection to the baby bird story.
Right.
And this connection is precisely the breakthrough Sunday aims to use to persuade us. I'd probably choose to ask the Bloodhounds to cease their pursuit.
So you're saying choose that because he's trying to draw us into a connection? I don't know. It's hard for me to, honestly, I would have no interest in helping the man out. I mean, maybe if I had more details, if I believed that was the best path to help the children, I could see myself going that route. But, no, I'm with March on this. Fuck the guy. We remain silent, leaving him to languish while the hounds are hot on his heels, till his inevitable judgment arrives. Make the decision.
It seems you, like me, are pondering whether a different choice could have led to a better outcome. Sadly, his fate would only be more tragic.
No, actually, I'm hoping he has a tragic fate. Honestly, Sunday. Like I said, I zero sympathy for him.
Say he never gets caught. He would only die from delirium. The methods with which illegal stowaways enter dreams are unorthodox. Not flawless like the hotels. Living in the dreamscape would be a mere pipe dream.
I mean, if it wasn't forbidden from the job, I'd probably personally turn him in.
Should he be apprehended? Could the hounds afford to turn a blind eye? The answer is a definitive no. They couldn't bear the resulting consequences, and thus wouldn't dare extend a helping hand.
Right.
As to your choice, I once again offer my heartfelt apologies. Next comes the third and final decision.
I mean, I feel like this one is backfiring on you, Mr. Sunday. Your critical error here is assuming we feel the same sympathy towards the man that you did.
And the story this time is my own. This story happened the day I was appointed the Oak family head. At that time, Mr. Gopherwood was the current Dream Master, and as per his wish, we had a private conversation.
Wait, is Mr. Gopherwood not the current Dream Master? Or... It feels like a weird sentence. At the time, Mr. Gopherwood was the current Dream Master, rather than just at the time Mr. Gopherwood was the Dream Master. By saying at the time, it sounds like he's no longer the Dream Master. But I thought he still was. Maybe that'll become clearer later. But Mr. Gopherwood was the Dream Master at that point.
What surprised me was that the Dream Master had only come to deliver a letter to me. He let me read its contents, and it was a letter from my sister.
Okay.
The letter contained the usual pleasantries, anecdotes from her travels. Nothing out of the ordinary. Just as I started wondering how this letter related to our discussion, the Dream Master began to speak.
Do you know who wrote this letter?
Was it not Robin?
My sister, of course. But why would you personally visit me to hand me a letter from my sister containing mere trivialities?
To help you grasp the full scope of this issue. Do you know where Robin is at this moment?
Was she at the orphanage? In one of those, was it a flashback we saw? Or no, in the trailer we saw. Yeah.
From what the letter indicates, she must be in Caspelina 8, correct? She's touring there right now.
Correct. Has she mentioned anything about a stray bullet?
A stray bullet? What? Did someone try to assassinate Robin?
A stray bullet? What?
A war has broken out on that planet.
Oh.
It is because of this very reason that Robin chose this destination. To spread the word of the Harmony. And to save the lives of that planet. She personally made for the front lines.
Robin is a true follower of the Harmony, it seems. Which we already really knew. She lives, you know, the word of the Harmony.
She hoped to ease the people's suffering with song.
Without
It
going
was
too
willing
far.
to brave mortal danger to deliver the IPC's medical supplies. Unfortunately, stray bullets show no such compassion.
Are you saying she was shot?
Is she alright?
Aw, poor Sunday.
If the operation was successful, she should probably be recovering in the field hospital.
Yeah, we know she made a full recovery.
By the eon above, The bullet struck her neck
Oh God,
Yet, possibly as a reward for her consistent deeds of harmony, it didn't hit any vital arteries.
Wow, that
Once
is
you've
lucky.
attended to your outstanding tasks, it'd be advisable to write her back as soon as possible.
No kidding. Yeah, oh man. But, I'm sorry to both of them. Doing good and yet, ever-present danger in a war zone.
Those damned savages! I'll pack my bags right away. My gratitude for bringing this to my attention,
Well, he said
Mr. Gopherwood.
write a letter, not go visit, but I understand that too. You want to go visit your sister.
Now you understand why she always wears such elaborate neck ornaments.
Oh!
Don't you?
I didn't even make that connection. I never really paid that close attention. It's not an out-of-the-ordinary sort of neck ornament.
How could this happen? Miss Robin.
Is this bad luck, March?
It's all in the past, so please don't worry. I share this in the meager hope that you will understand the harmony's limitations and predicament. As grandiose as the strong defending the weak sounds, many times, it is nothing more than wishful thinking.
I mean, sure. Though Robin was, well, wasn't so much, she wasn't necessarily defending the weak, though maybe she was doing that too. She was, from what you were saying, it sounded like she was trying to, well, bring harmony.
Likewise, I've prepared one last question, one last choice. But rest assured, this choice will not have any grave consequences.
Yeah, good. Now, Robin is safe and sound.
Because this is merely a figment of imagination, a nightmare that has haunted me through countless nights. If you ever had the opportunity to make a choice like I did,
To go or not.
would you still support Robin's journey on the path of
Oh.
harmony?
I mean, you support Robin to go on her journey. Would you stop Robin from going on her journey? Of course I support her. I have no right to tell her not to. She is a grown woman who can make her own damn decisions, who is fully aware of the risks. I would do what I could to, make sure she had what she needed to hopefully stay safe, but to try and stop her forcibly would be terrible.
I can't believe that happened to Miss Robin. The strong defending the weak is a great mantra, but if I had to pay such a price, I don't know what I'd do.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair though, it's about whether she is willing to do it, not if we are willing to do it. Also though, we kind of do the same thing. I mean, we go to these planets and, well, we're strong and we defend the weak at great personal risk. Himiko?
I often feel like I've dreamt of similar scenes on certain nights. In the dream, I see blurry faces. I don't know who they are, but I sympathize with all of them, fighting for survival against some unfathomable force.
Okay.
Their confusion and fear are lucid to me. But I also remember they chose never to give up.
Yeah.
Just like Miss Robin.
And this makes me, honestly, finding this out makes me respect Robin even all the more. That she still continues on her journey to help people, even after suffering a potentially mortal wound. She was extremely lucky.
If Mr. Sunday's question leaves you puzzled, you should find the answer from your own experiences. With each trailblaze, dangers and tribulations will surely follow.
They will.
But would you ever back away? Would you stop March and Don Hung from reaching their next destination?
Right.
I believe you have an answer of your own in your heart.
Yeah. I mean, I absolutely do. I have zero right to stop them. Like, it's not my choice to make. Even if it hurts to see them get hurt. Assuming they do get hurt. I can ask them not to go. I can plead with them. I can try to convince them, but that's the extent of it. How about you, Firefly?
Miss Robin's courage is admirable.
It is.
And here I was thinking she was just another superstar celebrity.
Yeah, I mean, I thought she wasn't just another superstar celebrity. I thought she was an exceptionally kind superstar celebrity with an amazing voice and, well, a magical voice. A literally magical voice. But, yeah, she's even more courageous and admirable than I thought.
But the fact that she's also Mr. Sunday's younger sister? No, I doubt he'd wish harm on his own flesh and blood, no matter how grand the ambition.
Well, it's not wishing harm on them. It's supporting their choice. There's a difference, an important difference. It's accepting their desire to put themselves in harm's way in order to do good, to pursue their dreams. Yeah, no, I have to support Robin. Will you make this choice? Actually, before we do that, I want to see something. Robin. Yeah, she's got it there. Must be covering the scar. Oh man, I'm sorry, Robin. Well. Yes, we will.
I see.
Yeah.
I am now aware of everyone's stances.
And what conclusion have you come to, Mr. Sunday? You're not going to talk about our last choice there?
Raising these questions merely serves to illustrate one point. The plight of Penacony cannot be salvaged by the harmony. The true foundation for a sweet dream paradise can only be established through the order, where the strong govern the weak.
You haven't convinced me of that, Mr. Sunday. Not with these, stories.
I know the suffering of being tormented, the turmoil of losing your way, how sorrow, and even despair, set in when matters don't work out. All of this causes me unending pain, because this is not what happiness is at all.
I do feel for you, though. I do get that this, seeing people hurt tears you up, makes you hurt. Which has pushed you to seek out order. But, I fully can get behind people having the choice of, I guess we'll call it the choice of order. People who don't want to deal with those choices choosing to be governed. But, God, like I said, I can't get ahead, can't get behind you trying to force it on everybody. No.
We must teach the weak how to live a happy life. And this life isn't some noble propriety that the upper crust preaches, but in definitive terms, a way of survival that belongs to everyone.
So what is your definition of living a happy life?
That's actually a very, kind of critical point there of different people have different definitions of a happy life. And safety and comfort may not actually be a part of it for some people.
Good question. Human consciousness is fundamentally an illusion, a cage known as self-worth. People lured in by this illusion make mistakes, yet still ask that external influences bear the burden. When one mistake after the next permeates the masses, they become impossible to trace. Thus, the amassing of these individual cages culminate to form a prison. A place dictated only by the rule of survival of the fittest.
I mean, there's some places that are truly, especially in a vast universe like this, that are going to be governed by survival of the fittest, but I don't know, it's kind of the story of humanity, or sentience, is the pursuit of eliminating survival of the fittest. Granted, doesn't necessarily mean doing so through forcing people to align with, your own perceptions of what they should be.
Nature is always accompanied by predation and sacrifice. Its antithesis is known as order.
I could probably agree with that. Though that's also considered the natural order, so it's a bit ironic, actually.
That is what I want to do. Unite people's happiness under the banner of order. They won't need to make bitter choices any longer, nor face the weaknesses of humanity. They can cast aside their primal instincts to build a haven for mankind.
I mean, like I said, build your haven, but let people choose to enter or exit freely.
Simply describing thoughts is far too abstract. So allow me to provide a simple example. As you all may know, there are societal norms like weekends and long weekends that exist on some worlds.
Yeah.
During these hard-earned rest days, people are given the chance to extricate themselves from the stresses of everyday life, allowing a certain tranquility to return to their souls.
Okay.
And it is only on these days that people do not have to adhere to the law where the strong prey on the weak. They can live out their lives happily during these brief intermissions. It's just a pity that 2 or 3 days are still too fleeting compared to the span of a lifetime.
It's a little pessimistic to consider the rest of the week. Just the strong preying on the weak. I'm not sure that I agree with that. I mean, for some people, that is certainly the case. Different, it's countless different experiences of both the week and the weekends. Granted, I mean, at least for some people, more days would surely be welcome. You're not wrong there.
From where I stand, society's ideal system should be 7 rest days. Following Sunday, there should ensue a second, a third, and indeed an infinite procession of Sundays.
Fitting for you.
This should be the face of the new world. Idyllic, eternal, peaceful days.
Yeah, so hold on, Mr. Sunday. I appreciate you, your name, sort of matching with that. But you can't just rest all the time, Sunday. Fall into lethargy. It's just... eternal bliss is, well, it gives way to boredom. Not to mention, the world would fall apart if everything was just eternal nothing, eternal rest.
And thus, every person can return to their base selves in this utopia. Some gaze in reverence at the stars, pouring their whole beings into calculating the distance between us and the isolated world of Pagana.
Silver Rail's starting.
Meanwhile, some seek refuge in quiet corners, holding one another, unencumbered by the chains of unwelcome obligations.
I assume Silver Rail is talking about is another name for the Star Rail? Like our train? If so, that's awesome. I wonder if that's Akavili's homeworld then, before he was an Eon. If that's the case.
There would be no need to bear the hardships of reality. Only in this way can humanity face the inevitable end with the purest of spirit, living a life of dignity. This is what it is to live in bliss.
And some people will choose that fate. It's actually very reminiscent of the Matrix. I want to say, was it the end of the Matrix? When they make the deal of people being able to choose whether to stay or leave.
Miss Firefly, you who are stricken with entropy loss syndrome.
Yeah.
You of all would surely understand this.
Ooh. I imagine she probably understands this better than, or understands your perspective better than anyone else. But does she agree with it? Oh, Firefly.
It sounds like a flawless theory.
No, you're not thinking hard enough, March. I mean, it is flawless in the sense, well, I mean, you'd have to somehow maintain it, which means not everyone could be there forever. I mean, even if you could automate things, power everything with the Stellaron, I mean, you'd still need some way of maintaining people's real bodies. And even if that wasn't a consideration, it'd still be flawed to force it on everybody.
But what is the price to attain all this?
That's another good question, Firefly.
The cost is minute, merely a personal and eternal sacrifice. If this paradise is to be maintained for everyone, someone must remain trapped in solitary awakening until the end of the cosmos.
So you were thinking about that then? I mean, I don't know how you would get a single person to do this, unless you were planning on ascending into an Eon. But you are at least contemplating the fact that not everyone can enjoy this bliss to make it a reality. But I'm guessing you're the one who wants to make that sacrifice. You seem like the kind of person.
Awakening. Which means that this so-called paradise is still a dream.
Yeah?
Stepping into this paradise means forsaking reality, correct?
Yeah. I mean, I thought we were pretty clear that this would all be basically an eternal dream. I mean, it is a classic philosophical question of If you could upload your brain into a dream, vat in a eternal, perfect dream world, would you do it? But, I mean, not everybody would.
It is not forsaking, but transcending. Flesh, blood, sorrow, weakness. If the physical is the root of spiritual suffering, it is only logical that we defeat it.
But in this supposed bliss, people won't have defeated their demons.
No,
The chance to overcome their tribulations would be forever lost to them.
they would.
In other words, it is an escape.
Yeah, you are running from your problems. Which, I mean, depending on your problems, I can potentially understand.
That's another way of understanding it. But there is no shame in escape. On the contrary, the seeds of escape exist in everyone's hearts. Don't you agree, Miss Firefly? And as for why life slumbers, it is because we are afraid to awaken from our dreams.
I mean, we've heard that line a bunch. Why does life slumber? I don't think I agree with your answer, though. In reality, life slumbers to rest, refresh, allow our bodies to repair themselves, basically.
But this is not in conflict with the grand plan. Only in acknowledging this can we truly understand the frailty of human nature, and from there, show compassion and protection.
I admit that you are a born leader.
He is.
Your perspective on humanity brims with
It
pessimism.
really does.
Yet you express compassion for all. Even when your heart pities them.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, his heart aches for the suffering of others, and it's driven him to an extreme. And, he's seen enough suffering that has made him exceedingly pessimistic. But unfortunately, there are plenty of examples of people succeeding and basically the opposite of his negative worldview.
But unlike you, I live for the self. From my perspective, individuals making choices for themselves is their birthright.
Thank you, Firefly. That's what I've been saying. It's my fundamental belief is in the right to self-determination.
The want to escape may be innate in the weak. But whether they are weak or not, it is not up to another to decide.
Yes. I knew I loved you, Firefly.
Perhaps in your mind, you also view me as weak?
I mean, he might. But she is definitely not. No. Just because she has her condition was entropy something. Yeah, entropy loss syndrome, which I still don't fully understand what exactly it entails. But just because she suffers from that affliction doesn't make her weak.
Because I don't think so.
Since Miss Firefly has said her piece, the Astral Express will also naturally give you our answer.
Have we agreed on an answer, Himiko? Should we discuss this in private or no?
We'll leave it to you. Just as Mr. McHale instructed before. Tell him our choice.
Oh, not long ago.
What is this place?
Hey, Misha.
Does this place ring any bells, Misha?
Oh, we're finally gonna get to... Hi, Misha. Yes. Have some of my crackpot ideas been correct, perhaps?
I don't know, but I feel a sense of deja vu. What is this place?
It's the realm within a dream bubble. This was left to the Astral Express by a nameless, but weirdly, when we entered it, it was completely empty.
Yeah. Yeah, there have been a few gaps in my, the things that they know that I was like, felt like I was going crazy, as if I had forgotten something. But it seems that I just legitimately didn't know.
Dr. Edward from the Dreamscape sales store told me that dreams are formed from memories, and a dream bubble can't take shape if its core is empty.
Misha, you've been the key all along.
So I thought you might be able to help us in unraveling this mystery, Misha. As a hotel doorman, you know Penacony best among us.
He does.
I don't know much about dream bubbles, but if you want to figure out what this mansion is, I'll do my best.
Of course. You're a good kid, Misha.
I'm counting on you then.
Yeah, I think he's gotta be the Watchmaker's legacy, right?
Himeko, I still don't get it. Why were you so sure that Misha had a connection with this dream bubble?
I wasn't sure. It was just a hunch. But since Misha feels familiar with this place, my hunch might be correct.
Wait, is this... This looks kind of similar to the, place we met the meme. This place looks a bit familiar.
Exactly. This is where you and
Yeah.
Firefly encountered
This place was
death,
terrifying.
which we now know as dormancy. Considering its connection to Dreamflux Reef, it's not surprising it appeared here. The question now is, who brought you here? Based on the clues we have so far, it's unlikely to be that masked fool.
Right.
So identifying them is crucial to us.
Well, what was she doing then? She clearly was trying to do something to us. But if she didn't take us to where we ended up, then someone intervened. Or it could have been chance, I guess, but...
We're drawing closer to the truth once more. Let's give Misha some time, as I believe he'll unveil the secret of this dream bubble.
I bet you will, Misha.
Alright, but there are doors all over the place. Which one should we choose? Do you have any idea, Misha?
Just go with what feels right, Misha.
I guess... maybe this way?
Sure. Why not? Child's dream. Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure, but... let's give it a try.
We will. This is the same map, right? Or maybe not. Hey, you're running fast, Misha.
Wait, you managed to choose the right door on your first try?
Apparently so. That or, his choice made it the right door. That's a possibility too. Well, I guess we'll see. That or was just the familiarity.
Weird. This place is quite different from the hotel. But I feel like I've been here before, and even lived here for a while.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, there should be a fireplace down that hallway. Clocky and I used to sit by the fire, listening to the crackling of firewood.
Did you now?
And
And the room on the other side was toy room.
Yeah.
I loved spreading out all the toys from the box on the floor and making up stories for each of them.
I'm thinking that there have been enough. So when we first came through here, through the dream, child's dream, I think it was Misha that we were hearing call out to Mikhail. Also, probably when we were first falling into Penacony, into the sweet dream, I think we also heard someone call out for Mikhail then too. That must have been Misha as well, I bet.
Hold on. This doesn't make sense. Didn't I grow up in Dreamflux Reef? So, what is this place?
I mean, it's a little weird to consider you grew up in a dream at all, but...
This could be a case of amnesia. Don't worry, Misha. It's common for everyone to forget certain aspects of the past. Those
It
memories
is.
haven't vanished. They're just lying in the depths of your mind. We can surely get them back.
Maybe.
Since this place seems familiar to you, why don't we explore a few more rooms and see if you can recall anything more?
Yeah, good plan, Himiko.
Yeah. Then let's check out the rooms I just mentioned.
The fireplace in the toy room? Sure. There it is. Place emptier than last time.
Mikhail, that's the name. Now we all know him as the Watchmaker.
Right, March.
So, who is he talking to? Do you know anything about it, Misha?
Who talking to? What? Did you hear a voice?
I'm sorry. I don't know much about the Watchmaker. But Mikhail...
Anything special about that name?
Mikhail is Grandpa's name.
Grandpa. Ah. I was thinking it'd be more like father, but...
Grandpa? Do you mean you're the Watchmaker's grandson?
Apparently so. Though, as always, the timeline seems a bit confusing to me, since you are very young, and Mikhail is from who knows how many Amber eras ago.
But we haven't heard anything about the Watchmaker having descendants. And the name Mikhail is not rare. Perhaps it's merely a coincidence.
You know better than that, Himiko. Come on. There are no coincidences. To quote Master Oogway.
Could you tell us more about your grandpa, Mikhail?
Yeah, sure. He was a seafarer who fearlessly ventured into mysterious seas and storms. He was always on the sea and had lots of friends who accompanied him on his travels.
I could imagine telling a child the stories of your travels through the stars in that way.
He didn't want me to call him Grandpa because that would make him sound old. He
Of
believed
course.
he was still young. The name Mikhail was given to him by his parents, Mihaly and Elise, both renowned seafarers.
Interesting.
Every time he came back, he'd share his logbook with me and tell me about his adventures at sea.
Aww.
I want to become a great adventurer, just like him.
Yeah, of course. Maybe you should join us in the stars.
It appears that the seafarer has nothing to do with the Watchmaker. So, perhaps it's just a coincidence?
No, I don't believe that for a second, March.
So, where is your grandpa now?
He went off on a new journey, and it's been quite a while since I last saw him.
Define quite a while. Are we talking a year? 10 years? 20 Amber eras?
So, where has Clonky gone?
Ah,
Did he leave to protect Dreamville?
I see. It was these that March was seeing. So, you need to keep yourself safe too. Okay, Mikhail? I promise you. Yeah.
Kale.
Oh, yeah. Mikhail, I promise you. I promise you, Mikhail.
Tick-tock.
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 Tick-tock goes the clock. Yeah. Here's the birdie again. No more of the words here.
I heard some noises from the room. Origami bird? That's a friend of mine.
Aw. This one's actually an origami bird, though.
You and Origami Bird are friends?
Yeah. It's a member of the Compass crew, just like Clocky and Miss Mirror. And there's more than just one origami bird. They are a big family with lots of brothers and sisters who look the same.
Yeah, they are. And yeah, they do.
They follow Miss Mirror's orders and handle all sorts of jobs on the ship. They're the best sailors.
Interesting. Who's... I'm assuming Miss Mirror was one of the people on your grandpa's ship.
Sailors? Can origami birds be sailors?
Yeah, this is a bit nonsensical, March.
Could you tell us more about the compass, Misha?
The Compass is a ship bound for the New World.
Ah.
Clocky and his partners travel through layers of fog to the depths of the sea. Whenever there is danger, Clocky will use a compass and guide the ship in the right direction.
I see, I see.
That's a great story. But in the Penacony cartoon, Clocky and his partners have always lived in Dreamville and never ventured out, right?
Right.
Huh? Oh, that does seem to be the case.
Maybe we should ask Clocky.
Weird. I clearly remember Clocky arrived in the New World in the end.
Where was the New World, Misha? I mean, Clocky was Mikhail, the Watchmaker, if I remember right.
Perhaps Clocky has a hidden past.
So this could all be metaphor.
I think I hear the sound of water.
You once mentioned there's a magnificent fountain up ahead.
Yes, there was. This is an origami bird I made for you. Any others? It will protect you from harm. Aww. What was that? Sorry, I missed that. Let's try that again. No, where did you go? Words? Oh, there it is. Just like they did with Clocky. Wait, just like they did with what with Clocky?
Look, there it is.
Yep, there it is. But much fewer enemies here this time, thankfully.
The water resembles a precious jewel, embedded in the dreams of all seafarers. Every time I gaze at the shimmering lights beneath the waves, it feels as though I'm back in this place, standing by your side.
That's wonderful. What was that? What are you quoting, Misha?
Have you recalled anything, Misha?
Yeah, I saw these sentences in Grandpa's logbook. He used to say that despite the perils of the sea, whenever he stood on the deck in the afternoon, overlooking the sparkling waves, he would think of this fountain in front of his house.
Interesting.
He often said that those moments felt like returning to his family's side, and the difficulties at sea didn't seem quite as challenging.
Maybe he really was a seafarer.
You know, I quite understand such sentiments.
Don't sigh, or you'll start getting gray hair. Aw.
Hey, don't tease. I was just being a bit sentimental.
It'd be a shame for you to get gray hair. Though, who am I to judge, right? Oh, man. But very specifically, the sentiment she was referring to is that those moments felt like returning to his family's side, and difficulties at sea didn't seem quite as challenging.
Perhaps every adventurer far from home carries a fountain within their soul.
A metaphorical
Even
one,
though the
yeah.
other side of the sea remains shrouded in the unknown, the fountain in front of his house serves as a compass, leading him back to his cherished ones.
Maybe you're the compass, Misha. You're the fountain.
Yeah. While Grandpa was at home, we would stand by the fountain and place the compass, a toy boat that I made, into the pool.
Aw. Also, I just noticed your eye, your pupil, is a keyhole.
Back then, I would ask him when I could go on adventures like him, and he would always laugh and say I was still too young.
Aw.
It seems this Mikhail is truly a seafarer and has nothing to do with the Watchmaker.
No, I'm still leaning towards we're speaking in metaphor, March. That none of this has been quite literal.
Yeah. Based on Misha's recollections, the scenes in the dream bubble appear to be his childhood memories.
Right.
But this raises more questions. According to Misha, he was clearly born on an oceanic planet and led an ordinary life, with no connection to Penacony at all.
Yeah, but that doesn't seem quite right, does it?
Could this be some sort of metaphor? Perhaps the sea refers to the memory zone.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. It's got to be a metaphor. You know, what the metaphor is, though, is definitely open for debate.
I'm sorry. I don't know, but my memories keep pouring out uncontrollably, like water flowing from a fountain.
It's okay, Misha. Just take your time.
Perhaps I'll remember more things if we go further.
Of course.
Share your burden.
Share your burden.
We're going to the opposite side, right?
Is it something
No.
very important?
We should turn left here.
Yeah. Is it something very important? I wish to share your burden. I wonder if these are... I feel like these might be the same ones we saw back then.
Huh? Something feels
You take me with
different
you.
about this place.
This is it. I remember this corridor.
All right. Well, let's head down it then. I heard another one, but... All right. Oh.
Up ahead is Grandpa's study.
Oh.
It was in that room that I saw him the last time.
Don't go. Wait. Misha. I came up with a possible reason. Now, just stay with me for a minute. Of how you could be young and be the real Mikhail, Mikhail's grandson. And, you know, assuming he isn't actually that long-lived. And you, for that matter. So, what if you are, in fact... Wait, no, I saw you in the real world, though, didn't I? damn it, I was gonna say, what if you're effectively a memory, a dream, a meme, if you will? But no, that doesn't work. Don't go. All right. You come back. Aw. But you never did. He never came back.
We overcome so many challenges.
Oh. What do we have here? A whole bunch of stuff. Captain miHoYo, we are now heading in the correct direction. We've overcome so many challenges. In the end, we've arrived at the new world. We've lost our way so many times. Not even the sea can stop us. Let's continue sailing. We've finally come out of the fog. Across the oceans, our destination. Guess we can't do this yet.
The atmosphere in this room feels totally different.
Yeah, it is just a bit different.
miHoYo, you finally come!
Clocky!
Clocky, you're here! Yeah. This is the room where we first met each other.
Then you had to have been in the dream at the time. Right?
Are those books on the bookshelf logbooks left behind by that seafarer?
Just for the record, can you two see Clocky?
Yeah. Whenever he came back, he placed a logbook on the bookshelf in his room. They contain records of his expeditions to every corner of the world.
Ooh. That might help verify whether it was actually just sailing or if it was sailing the stars.
He described our world as a fountain. At some point, the sea started to gradually swallow up the land where people lived.
Oh. Well, maybe not. I could see it being, he was exploring, every corner of the Memoria, however you would say it, the dream area, the bubble, the zone.
To ensure that everyone had land to settle on, he had to continue exploring the sea and search for the source of the rising seawater.
Which was the Stellaron, wasn't it?
On that day, he called me to his study, telling me that he was embarking on another journey. However, I could sense the gravity in his expression. It was the same look I had seen on my father's face before his final voyage.
Aw. Oh, miHoYo. What was your father's final voyage? What happened to him?
I asked him if I could go with him, but he said that my adventure lay elsewhere.
Yeah.
And told me to stay home and patiently await a certain sound at the door.
You remember what sound?
What sound?
Yeah.
He told me about a vast ocean in the sky.
Yeah.
An ocean of stars. He spoke of a train that transports children with a desire to venture far away.
Yep.
Traversing the sea of stars without ever stopping.
Well, it stops. Sometimes. Rocky, you were looking upset a minute ago, but now you look happy. Yeah. Further confirmation that his miHoYo and our miHoYo are one and the same.
He said that he knew the crew on the train, and that he had asked them to take me along.
Aww.
He said the journey I had always dreamed of would start there.
Damn it, we gotta take miHoYo along now. No choice. Must be done.
A train? Could it be?
It absolutely is, March. What else could it be?
It's the Astral Express. I remember now. Grandpa's friends are a group of nameless who came to this world to resolve a disaster caused by a star.
Yes.
Then, he gave his pocket watch to me.
Oh.
It was his cherished treasure,
Hmm.
appearing in every one of his adventure tales. He explained that difficult times were ahead, but assured me that the watch would guide me.
Interesting. I mean, I guess it could just be a watch, but I kind of doubt it.
He said, as long as I kept moving forward, I'd eventually reach my desired destination. And then, it was as if I heard
Yes.
the distant sound of a train whistle echoing throughout the room.
Is that when we arrived?
Exactly, Misha. And then we followed that whistle, didn't we?
You did.
Yeah. I think I can still find the way we took back then.
I guess that might not have been us, but... Hold that thought. Yeah, I don't really know the correct order, but I think we got the sense.
This is the dream jigsaw, right? So
Yes,
we're
it
supposed
is.
to find the exit. But where can we find the last piece?
Oh, there's a missing piece?
Do you remember? You said you obtained a mysterious shard when you stumbled into this place.
No, I don't, but let's check.
Hey, the shape
Oh.
seems to match. So this shard is also connected to Misha?
That's neat.
Looks like we're just one step from revealing the truth. Let's get to the other side and investigate.
Let's. Right there. Booyah.
Perhaps there's more than one right answer.
No, I don't know. I think that was just one right answer. Wouldn't be much of a puzzle if there were multiple.
This is it. This is my room of clocks.
Your room of clocks. Huh.
While I spent my time waiting for Grandpa to return from his voyage, Walter gave me this workshop, and it became my secret base.
Who is Walder? I don't think we've met them or heard of them before.
Here, I learned how to repair clockwork and gears out of my fondness of precision mechanics. In my dreams, I was the captain of the compass, embarking on adventures with my companions,
Aww.
Clocky and Miss Mirror, in search of the new world.
Yeah.
I was born and raised here.
Like, in the dream, or?
So, this building in the dream bubble is your childhood home.
Apparently so. It's so very weird to consider a dream, you know, your home and the place you were born, though.
Yes, but not exactly. To be more precise, this dream bubble itself is my home.
Oh. So not necessarily the shape it's currently taking.
Looks like you've remembered everything now.
Yeah, but I feel like our understanding is still just a bit shy of where it needs to be.
Wait. Why does it feel like everyone else knows something I don't?
Thank you, Marsh. I greatly appreciate you not knowing, because hopefully that'll get us to explain properly. Yeah, you're the only one still in the dark. Too bad I don't know either.
Marge, do you remember when she mentioned a clocky that only she could see?
Yeah. Do you not see Clocky here, March, still?
Yeah, the little guy here, right?
Yeah, good.
But we all saw him in Dreamflux Reef.
Yeah, that's right.
Right? And Mr. Yang even greeted him.
That's what I thought.
Looks like everyone on the Astral Express has a childlike spirit.
Aw. Well, March definitely does. Himiko, close enough, I guess.
The answer lies in the Astral Express. Her experience shows that neither Firefly nor Acheron can see this Clocky.
Oh, you think it's because we're nameless, not actually a childlike spirit?
And when we were in Dreamflux Reef, you may have noticed that for some reason, nobody outside of the crew had ever talked with Clocky.
Yeah. Wait, really? I hadn't really pondered it.
A mimetic life that can only be seen by a select few. It's just like a hidden message left by someone for the nameless.
No kidding. Clocky, you're awesome, you know that? But Misha has always seen Clocky.
But Misha can see Clocky too, right? They even grew up together. But Misha hasn't started the way of the Trailblaze yet.
No, but I mean, Misha is the descendant of Mikhail, so...
That's the key to the mystery, March. Now, take a moment to recall. Have you ever seen anyone outside of the crew interact with Misha?
Sure. God damn it, No? Wait. But when we were in the Sweet Dream, Golden Hour, did they not acknowledge his existence? Clocky said his friend was in trouble, right? Was Misha the one in trouble? God, I need to go back and watch that. Did they not? Did I just get fucking sixth sensed?
Wait. No way!
Yeah, I'm tripping out. I'm tripping here, March.
That's the answer, March 7th. This dream bubble is the place where I was born. And I'm a dweller in this dream. Just like a memory zone me.
I threw that idea out because I could have sworn we met in the real world. And I never would have thought that if that's the case, you'd be able to step into the real world. Am I misremembering? No. You were the first person we met. But this isn't like our world. Dream bubbles, memoria, all that stuff is real, physical substance. And the actual world of Penacony is built around that, I suppose. So maybe he could step out into the real world.
I should have stayed here and waited for you. But when reality and memories merged, I unconsciously pushed open that door and left the bubble with Clocky.
How did you survive? But also, yeah. So you are. I will bet. Maybe. Well, I don't know. Maybe not. Like I said, I was thinking earlier that you would be a memory, a meme, modeled after Mikhail's real grandson. But, like, flesh and blood grandson. But maybe that's not even the case.
So it's not that the Watchmaker's dream bubble is empty, but rather the stuff inside ran away?
It seems that might be the case, March.
And the whistle you heard, was the sound of the express arriving at Penacony?
That it was, March. My first intuition was right on the money.
That's one way to see it. but I believe there's a longer story behind all this.
Probably.
It's best for Misha himself to explain all the details.
Please do. I would love, as everything slowly, very slowly, but surely comes together and makes just a bit more sense. Yeah, I appreciate it.
How about we start with your name? Now, should we call you Misha, or...
Oh, yeah.
Thank you all for helping me rediscover my true self. Now, please allow me to reintroduce myself.
You're not gonna say Mikhail, are you? Or the Watchmaker?
I was born on Lusaka, in the Presmere system. Adopted by seafarers Mikhail and Char. They gave me a treasure. A name that carried their hopes.
But... Wait, you were born in this dream bubble, though, right? That you're a meme. Wait, Lusaka. Is that the name of this actual planet? Maybe not. I think it had a different name. But this might be the Presmere system. Can't remember quite. Regardless, sorry, Misha. Carry on.
Mikhail Char Legwork. Or simply, Misha.
Mikhail Char. I'm sure that makes some sense. But wait, legwork. Was that... that was the name of... Someone we've met or heard about recently had that name. Wait, was it? Wait, Mikhail. Yeah. That was, you're the Mikhail. Are you like... Did Mikhail grant himself immortality in the form of a meme?
If you prefer, you can call me by a more familiar name. The Watchmaker.
Yeah. You're a young Mikhail. Mikhail as he looked like as a child, I guess. That was... Right? You hold the Mikhail's, you hold the Watchmaker's memories and everything? That of the Nameless? But I suppose the memories were locked away until you came in contact with us? Probably by intention, probably intentionally? As a sort of form of protection? Huh. So your grandfather was actually a legit seafarer then.
So, you're the Watchmaker himself?
Apparently so, March.
Unfortunately, that legendary figure is no more. I am only a reflection of his life.
Sure. I mean, he made you quite literally in his image, I think. Probably granted you his memories somehow. You, for all intents and purposes, you are him, right? Him as he was at one point.
As for the child who has been with you, he's the innocent protagonist of Misha's childhood dream. Friend of Clonky, a young apprentice, and a future mechanic on the Express.
Aw.
And this also marks the beginning of his journey, devoted to the Trailblaze.
At the end of the journey,
Oh.
I left this little flame, which I so cherished in my deepest dreams, hoping to pass it on to the nameless of future generations.
Holy cow, Watchmaker. You are a long-term schemer, aren't you? I love it. the end of the journey, this little flame named Misha.
However, he somehow left the dream bubble and forgot all about his task.
Yeah, he did.
I apologize for all the confusion this caused.
Because he was born with a desire to trailblaze, wasn't
Yeah,
he?
I guess it was inevitable.
I don't think Misha has forgotten his role as a guide. He remembered it, and that's why he mistakenly appeared as a hotel doorman in her dream from the very beginning.
Well, hold on, but Himiko, he appeared to me as a doorman in the real world too, right? Am I going crazy?
The one who brought our unconscious friend here must have been Misha. If that's the case,
Yeah.
we encountered the Watchmaker's legacy from the beginning, didn't we?
I guess we did.
Well, I have a sarcastic friend who says I always take big detours and end up back where I started. Perhaps that's what every nameless has to go through.
Perhaps so. I'm sure, we're taking big detours, and I wouldn't be surprised if we end up back where we started.
But in the end, you found me. I'm sure you're all wondering what my legacy is. I believe my hound has mentioned the Stellaron and my wealth.
You mentioned the Stellaron. I don't recall anything about wealth.
If I may apologize, the Stellaron part is real. As for my wealth, however, it's nothing more than a baseless rumor.
Well, that's okay. I didn't actually remember that rumor, so I'm less disappointed.
I left my homeland as a child and embarked on the journey of Trailblaze. I traveled to various planets until finally
There it is,
reaching
yeah.
Asdana,
Asdana's the name.
where my friends and I built the original Penacony and fought for its future ever since.
Yeah. What did you envision for Penacony, by the way? Because there's certainly people trying to change it right now.
I've been moving forward all my life, doing what I could to overcome the obstacles in my path. But ultimately, my journey reached its end,
As it does for everybody.
and I left behind no possessions worth entrusting.
Right.
So, if you ask what's left within this worn-out train engine that can be called a legacy, I suppose it's the things that are still burning in the engine's furnace.
Some coals, some embers.
Now that you're well aware of the current situation of Penacony, I certainly hope that you'll help me get this world back on track. But I'll leave that decision to you, for the path of Trailblaze is never paved by others.
Right. It's your desire for us to restore this world to your vision. I mean, you'll have to give us a little more detail about what exactly you envisioned for us to make that a reality, though.
All I have for you is a story and two gifts.
Oh? Oh, is this where we gain our harmony powers?
I want to give you my pocket watch. It has accompanied me throughout my long journey,
Special to him.
guiding that naive child forward, and has been blessed with the presence of so many great people up to this day.
I mean, is this purely sentimental, or is this actually...
And my hat, too.
Oh?
The one who navigated for me placed it on my head and planted a fanciful thought in my mind. The trailblazing expedition will never end.
I was thinking that his hat looked very similar to the hat that Stella wears in her harmony form.
Now, it's time for you to make your choice. Once you've made up your mind, open that door and enter the long dream of an old man.
I mean, if that's the case, though, I feel like we're actually getting... Are we approaching the end of Penacony? Or at least the final version. The one where it had the Firefly banner. We might be.
I'll be waiting for you at the end of this corridor of time.
All right, everyone. Let's make a decision. Although I don't think anyone will have any objections.
Yeah. I'll choose the Trailblaze. I object. I want to witness the legacy. Ooh. I don't think anyone will have any objections. Oh, you're tempting me. You're really tempting me. Oh. I object.
Aw, come on. Stop joking at a moment like this.
All right.
We've come this far. Surely there's no other option than moving forward.
I agree, but I couldn't help it. In fact, I must have said it in the classic Phoenix Wright, I object! Or, is it Phoenix Wright? Yeah. Alright. Sorry, March.
In that case, the vote stands at 2-1.
I'm changing my vote.
Then let's proceed together to the end of this stream and tell Mikhail our decision.
I'm sorry, Himiko. I'm a little gremlin, I know. Thank you for putting up with me. And they've done a fantastic job of laying seeds throughout this entire story of Penacony. I actually want to replay it almost. If it wasn't so long.
Mikhail, where are you going?
Mikhail Char Legwork. Wait, who's actually saying that then?
Someone has to step up and save Lushaka. So why can't it be me, Misha?
Well, you knew a real Misha then.
Please don't go. And if you must, please take me with you. Don't leave me alone.
Aww.
Even without me, you know how to proceed forward, brave Captain Misha. The compass is waiting for you. Haven't you always wanted to be a better adventurer than me?
Or wait, no, this is... See, because Seafarer Mikhail was his actual grandfather, and he's named for his grandfather, right?
Now go, board that train, and start your journey.
Aww.
Where are you going, Mikhail?
And... Wait, is that one's Mikhail, right? But that kind of looks like Misha.
I'm going to clean the floor in the parlor car. I've promised the conductor.
Oh, no, yeah, okay, that is. And, oh, eventually you put the hat on him.
Wait, first tell me, did you fix this watch?
Navigator Falcon Amundsen.
Yeah?
I know what it looked like before. Its chain was broken, the back case torn, and the marks on the dial all worn out. How did you manage to fix it?
He's a watchmaker.
Well, it's hard to explain, but I knew it could be fixed. It's the hands, Mr. Amundsen. Its hands were intact and pointing in the right direction, so I knew there would be a way to fix the rest.
You are a skilled watchmaker. And a skilled trailblazer, probably. Or at least it seems you were.
I see. You'll work with me from now on. Haven't you always wanted to tinker with this train?
Yeah.
You're its mechanic now. As for the conductor, I'll do the talking.
Pom-pom, been around forever.
But I only know how to fix watches.
Oh, you'll learn.
Don't worry. You've got what it takes. I'll teach you what you need to know.
He was super young here.
Where are you going, Legwork? It's time to head to our next stop.
Different navigator. Quote-unquote navigator. Granholm. How much older are you now?
I'm staying in Astana with Rosalina and Tiernan.
Oh, yeah. So the rest came with you as well, but as the Trailblazers do, they proceed onward. But Mikhail and Rosalina and Tiernan couldn't leave it in its sorry state.
I see. This place reminds you of home.
The people of Astana have only achieved a tiny victory and still have a long way to go towards true freedom. Hanunu needs us.
Hanunu.
Don't worry. Not all journeys lead to the stars. Even if I leave the Express, our path of Trailblaze will continue.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah. I knew you wouldn't stay on the Express forever. Leave in peace, my friend. And, take this with you.
Wait, did the old man die here? I mean, it looks like the same guy, and well, he looks like he's in a coffin, or I mean, he looks like Mikhail looks like he's grieving and holding the hat.
This is Mr. Amundsen's hat.
Yeah.
But why?
When he departed, he said he would leave it to his best student.
Aw.
Well, I suppose the time has come. Farewell, legwork. Take care of Tiernan and Rosalina. And don't forget to write to us.
Yeah. I hope you didn't. I still want to know if you would be willing to tell me which one is Mr. Hanu. Or maybe Mr. Hanu isn't one of the other navigators. Or navigators, the other nameless. I guess Tiernan.
Where are you going, Watchmaker?
Micah.
Don't worry, Micah. Just going on a little trip.
Well, this is a full circle, isn't it?
Someone has to be at the forefront of the interstellar frontier, and I'm the only former nameless in Penacony. So why can't it be me?
Because you're all we have. Have you forgotten about Tiernan? The cosmos is way more dangerous now. What will happen to Penacony if we lose you too?
Ooh, yeah. Well, it's degraded. No, at least away from what he wanted for it. That's for sure. Also, we've heard the name Micah before as well, right? Micah isn't one of the people we met in the Dreamflux Reef, is it? The red-haired guy? I feel like the name was at least mentioned in one of the in-betweens we've been in. Maybe.
But what will happen to Penacony if we don't find a way out?
A way out of what?
Tiernan. How could I ever forget him? I've spent countless sleepless nights asking myself why I didn't go with him back then.
Let me go back. Where are you going? Don't worry, Micah, just a little trip. Have you forgotten about Tiernan? Yeah, Tiernan died at returning to the stars. But what is happening to Penacony that's forcing you on this journey?
We Nameless won't stop. Don't worry, Micah. It's just a matter of getting back to my old profession. Just wait for me to come back. But if, and it's a big if I don't come back in one piece, then you'll become the next Watchmaker.
Where are you going, old man?
Gallagher, you were there.
Oh, you're here.
I mean, we have an explanation for Misha. We still don't have an explanation for you, Gallagher. Unless you're also a meme.
Answer my question. What are you up to?
Relax, Gallagher. I just came up with a great idea. Wanna hear it?
Yes.
Oh, come on. Aren't all your ideas just ways to get yourself killed?
No.
I may be blunt
Maybe.
here, but you're the last remaining hero in Penacony.
Right.
If you die too, the secret of the Stellaron will go to the grave with you.
Well, no, you have it clearly, Gallagher.
Yes. I'm afraid there's no way out in Penacony, so I'll have to consider alternatives beyond Asdana.
So your concern was that the Stellaron is going to engulf Penacony, which makes sense. So you're trying to find a solution to that.
We'll organize a festival using the Watchmaker's legacy as a facade.
You did.
Send invitations to the entire cosmos to gather people here.
Granted, many, many, many years later. Unless you died far more recently than I thought.
So, a desperate struggle against the family?
Desperate? Don't we have you here, my friend? This task is challenging, but what hasn't been challenging for us along the way? Well, whatever you do, remember, make sure to send an invitation to the Astral Express.
Misha! Where are you going?
Oh, Clocky.
Oh, it's you, Clocky.
Man, he's gotten old.
Take me to Dreamflux Reef. Last night, I had a long dream about the day we met.
Aww.
I want to write down that dream.
Aww. Oh, Clocky and Mikhail.
Write it down? Why?
Oh, Clocky. When people get old, they die.
Oh, so I won't forget it. Do you remember how you got your name, Clocky?
They also get forgetful.
Of course! You told me that when you were a kid, you lived in a room full of clocks. Those wall clocks and pocket watches grew up with you and were your best friends.
That's actually kind of sad.
Yes, but what I didn't mention was there's a funny misunderstanding behind it.
Oh?
I was a kid, and there was always a special pocket watch in my memories. It was with my grandpa, guiding him on his sea voyages and leading the way in his every adventure story.
Right.
I wanted to have a pocket watch like that too. And that's when you appeared in my dreams.
Oh. Like in the form that he takes here? And then, was he real at that point? Or did you later on make him real? Or, well, as real as a dream gets.
Yeah. Every night, we boarded the compass and set sail together.
Oh.
But you know what? It wasn't until the day my grandpa gave it to me that I realized it wasn't a pocket watch at all.
Really? What was it? Was it actually a compass?
It was a compass.
So, okay, that makes more sense then. That he used it as a compass. It was a literal compass.
So, your name should have been Compassy.
Please no. Clocky is so much better.
And the Watchmaker is just a nameless.
Just. I don't think just is the right word. But the Watchmaker is a nameless.
We've arrived at Dreamflux Reef. So, where to next?
Yes, we have.
You know, Clocky, I don't think I'll be going anywhere else.
Did, you, you took this form at the end? Interesting. I wonder when he made this form for himself. And wake to weep. Take a rest in the moonlight. Yeah, it actually is a gorgeous view. A good place to rest. Ah, the chair is empty right now. Yep. Let's rest in the moonlight.
I've traveled far enough, and it's time for a little break.
Yeah.
Oh. So, we'll set out again. When you're rested?
Aw. Oh, Clocky.
No, I'll stay here. And then, this is where it ends.
It is. Poor Clocky doesn't understand.
This is... where it ends?
Aw.
What do you mean, Misha?
Poor Clocky.
You told me that the trailblazing expedition would never end.
The trailblazing expedition doesn't. But everyone's journey has to eventually.
Yeah, that's what I said. So now, it's up to you to decide your next destination.
Aww.
My next destination? What's that supposed to be? I've been following you.
You have, but now it's time for you to make another choice. Where do you want to go next, Clocky?
Misha? You're acting weird today.
I feel so bad for this little meme.
If you're feeling down, we can just do what we usually do. With the clockwork.
No, I'm not feeling down. As for clockwork, yeah, it resolves all problems in this dream.
Really?
So, do you know what clockwork actually is?
Do tell.
I'm not quite sure.
Well, everyone gets lost at times. They may hesitate and doubt which way to go. That happens in this dreamscape and beyond. But don't worry. Everyone goes through moments of uncertainty and hesitation. Eventually, they gather the courage to make bold decisions.
Yeah, the Watchmaker's perspective is very opposed to Mr. Sunday's.
Whether it's calming, happy, angry, or sad, all they need is a little nudge to take that step toward where they truly belong. I'm leaving that little nudge with you, and I hope you'll share it with others.
You didn't answer what clockwork really is, Mikhail.
Such is the essence of clockwork. The will of the Trailblaze.
I see.
Clocky's hands spin around non-stop, indicating confusion, frustration, and weakness. But ultimately, people still need to move forward.
Just like your hands. Always pointing ahead.
Damn.
This is where my journey ends. From now on,
Putting on the hat.
it is your path to walk.
Yes.
Trailblazing means taking paths your predecessors forswore, and venturing even further.
Hell yes.
The Penacony in Mikhail's dreams does not belong to order.
Oh, there's the harmony. Well, Mr. Sunday, we have donned the hat.
I can't believe that Eon would cast a glance at Penacony at a time like this.
She would.
Is it because
They
of the
would.
resonance from the legacy of the Trailblaze? Or perhaps the bond between you is so strong that it even impresses an Eon.
Maybe. Maybe. Or maybe Shippei just disagrees with you, buddy. Order is not harmony.
Well, there might be another possibility. Perhaps they want to witness, on behalf of the fallen Eons, who will hold the future of Penacony.
Maybe. Ana was the Eon of Order, I believe. Must be. Yeah.
If that's the case, on behalf of the Dream Master of Penacony and the 107,336 members of the Oak family, I'm extending a formal invitation to all of you.
Come on, keep wearing the hat, Estelle. 107,000. Damn.
I'm cordially inviting you all to the Penacony Grand Theater to participate in the upcoming Charmony Festival.
Yeah.
And of course, you won't be in the audience, but on center stage.
Oh, we will. We'll make it a Charmony festival to remember.
Since the future of the Stellaron, Penacony, and even the entire cosmos is at stake, let's draw a conclusion there, in all fairness.
By all means.
If you truly believe in Akavili's path,
we do,
then show me their courage and determination.
We will. Honestly, harmony as Robin sees it, I agree with as well. Maybe we can knock some sense into you. Maybe. Just maybe. You can return to your sister. And he leaves. Well. Oh, that was something. I feel comfortable switching you to Harmony now officially, Stell. Yeah. Oh, and that was our first Eidolon, wasn't it? Best seat in the house. After using skill for the first time, immediately recovers 1 skill point. Nice.
Unknown to each other, yet united in purpose, we make the same choices.
Ooh, definitely want Dove and Top Hat. That's wonderful. Trailblazers on the field increase the break effect of all teammates by 15% of the Trailblazers' break effect. God, that's like Nahida levels of good. Almost. Maybe not quite, but still. Oh, we definitely want this one, right? For the Harmony, increases the wearer's break effect by 42%. We can make that even higher. When the wearer attacks, additionally regenerates 6 energy. I mean, just the break effect increase is absolutely worth it. Oh, Bronya. Does she need break effect? She's Harmony. So we can get it up to 56% break effect. Currently 42. That may or may not be worth it. I'll hold on to it just in case there's other Harmonies I want to give that to, but I don't think there are. Well, I think next time it's gonna be I think we're marching right towards the finale. Maybe there's still quite a bit left, I don't know, but I feel like this must have been the end of the second to last version for Penacony releases.